In the land of eternal sands and immortal mysteries, a powerful pharaoh managed to immortalize his name in history. Today, we delve into the story of the great Ramses II, the pharaoh who ruled Egypt for an impressive 66 years. Under his reign, the empire reached its peak of prosperity, territorial expansion, and architectural splendor. Welcome to the incredible story of Ramses II, the pharaoh who immortalized himself as a god in the land of the pharaohs. This video is sponsored by World Anvil. All of us history buffs love to learn and explore new worlds. World Anvil is a platform that can help you draw and understand information from existing universes, as in books or games, or even create your own story, with the help of a space where you can organize your thoughts. If you are an RPG game master, writer, artist, game designer, or anyone with a passion for creativity, World Anvil is a useful tool to bring your creative vision to life. World Anvil offers a platform with 25 world-building article templates, wiki-style presentation, and other tools so you can detail your story. You can use it to draw maps, register timelines, design plots, specify characters from your story, and much more. And also, World Anvil has a unique chronicle tool that allows you to combine your timelines with interactive maps. For GMs, World Anvil supports over 45 systems, or you can even use it to create your own journey. Either as a hobby or working tool, World Anvil is the perfect solution to plan, play, organize, and present your adventures, offering solutions and support for translating your imagination to real life. Go right now to worldanvil.com and use our code CUInHistory for 51% off any yearly subscription. Ramses II, also known as Ramses the Great, was one of the most remarkable pharaohs in ancient Egyptian history. He ruled during Egypt's 19th dynasty for around 66 years. His tenure is often considered one of the longest and most successful in Egyptian history. Ramses was born in 1303 BC during the reign of his father, Pharaoh Seti I. Ramses was the third son of Seti I and Queen Tuya. His childhood was distinguished by his royal rank and by growing up in a palatial setting. As a member of royalty, he was given a broad education, which included instruction in literature, religion, military strategies, and administration. Ramses' father was a military active pharaoh, and he took the young prince on army campaigns to introduce the heir to the practical side of government and military leadership. These events shaped Ramses' future military and political approach. At 14, Ramses II already bore the title of Crown Prince and was named his father's co-regent, a common procedure in ancient Egypt to ensure a smooth transition of power. When Seti I died around 1290 BC, Ramses II rose to the throne as Pharaoh of Egypt. His rise to the throne was fairly uneventful, due to his co-regency and the solid education he had received. Ramses' reign started around the age of 25. He chose to establish his capital in Pi Ramses, before moving it to Thebes later in his reign. Ramses II was best known for his construction and renovation efforts throughout Egypt. He supervised the building of several temples, monuments, and statues, including the famous Temple of Luxor and the Temple of Karnak. He was also in charge of the Abu Simbel temples, one of ancient Egypt's most iconic monuments. During the second year of his reign, Ramses II crushed an invasion of Shurdan pirate groups, also known as the Sea Peoples. They formed a confederation of mercenary warriors and pirates at the end of the Bronze Age and raided some of the most powerful kingdoms of that time. Ramses II's successful campaigns against the Sea Peoples helped bring stability to the eastern Mediterranean region during part of his reign. One of ancient Egypt's most famous and documented conflicts is the Battle of Kadesh, which took place around 1274 BC. The Levant region, which includes parts of Syria, Israel, and Palestine, was strategically important for its trade routes and natural resources. Egyptians and Hittites had conflicting interests in this region. Before the Battle of Kadesh, Ramses II and Hattusili III, king of the Hittite Empire, had signed a non-aggression treaty. But relations soured when Ramses II accused the Hittites of supporting rebels in the region. Ramses II headed a military campaign to retake control of the Levant and expel the rebels and their Hittite supporters. The pharaoh was counting on his larger and better trained forces, but the Hittites surprised the Egyptians with an initially successful strategy. They made a covert attack on Ramses' camp as the Egyptian forces were approaching the city of Kadesh. The Hittites' rapid deployment took the Egyptians by storm, encircling them from different directions. The Egyptian pharaoh was isolated temporarily from the rest of his troops, and, with the help of his personal guard, fought for his life until reinforcements arrived. Ramses II reported the battle personally, narrating a one-on-one duel with the Hittite prince. Ramses II succeeded in defeating his initial attackers and fled the camp to rejoin his main troops. The Hittites, believing that their enemies had been utterly defeated, stopped to loot the Egyptian camp and made themselves sitting ducks for Ramses II's counterattack. The Egyptians charged full force into the Hittites' unruly ranks, and they had no choice but to flee. During the ensuing chase, the heavier Hittite chariots were easily overtaken and swept aside by the lighter and faster Egyptian chariots. The battle ended in a stalemate, heavily casualties on both sides. Rather than pursue further hostilities, the Egyptians and Hittites chose to negotiate a peace agreement, which became known as the Treaty of Kadesh, one of the earliest historical evidences of an international peace treaty. The agreement established a defensive alliance between Egypt and the Hittites against external threats. The treaty also provided a stable period in relations between Egypt and the Hittites, scoring an early example of international diplomacy. Ramses II also led several military campaigns in the south, in the Nubian region, to protect Egypt's borders and control the region's resources. Nubia was a resource-rich region with gold and precious stones, and its management was vital for ancient Egypt. Ramses II followed a policy of integrating members of the conquered Nubian groups into his army. This not only bolstered the Egyptian troops, but also contributed to assimilation and the maintenance of regional stability. Ramses II was renowned for promoting a powerful and divine image of himself. Sculptures and texts carved as stone reliefs by earlier pharaohs could easily be erased, and so their images and words were twisted by their successors. Ramses, therefore, insisted that his sculptures be etched deeply into the stone, which not only made them less susceptible to later changes, but also made them more striking when exposed to sunlight. Ramses had a meaningful family life, with several wives and several sons and daughters. Nefertari was one of Ramses' most adored and influential wives. She had a leading role in his life, and monuments such as the Abu Simbel temple bear inscriptions and representations dedicated to her. Meritamen was one of Ramses II's daughters, but she also became one of his wives. Marrying daughters was a common practice among Egyptian royalty to maintain royal lineages. The said festivals were renewal rituals where the pharaoh attended several rites and ceremonies to prove his vitality, strength, and ability to continue to rule successfully. During the said festivals, Ramses II participated in religious ceremonies to honor the Egyptian gods. These ceremonies were carried out in temples and included offerings and prayers. This ritual symbolized the continuity of royal authority and the guarantee of stability and prosperity for Egypt. Ramses II ruled for around 66 years, making him one of the longest-lived pharaohs in Egyptian history. He died around 1213 BC and was buried in the Valley of the Kings, but his body has been moved several times over the centuries. His rule produced a lasting legacy, as much in terms of architectural achievements as political influence. Ramses II's successor was his 13th son, named Merneptah. The power transition seemed to have been fairly smooth, although there were disputes between some of his sons over the succession. Ramses II's death signaled the end of one of Egyptian history's most enduring and powerful reigns. His legacy also spans the Ramesside dynasty, to which he belonged, and the lasting influence he exerted on Egyptian politics and culture.